was so funny. I mean, molestation is almost never funny, but Mac trying to seduce his old high school teacher absolutely is. The episode was originally intended to be even worse.
Well, I would like to point out one of the things about that episode was that was the first time we ran up against some real resistance, because that episode was originally written to be not about a gym teacher, but about a Catholic priest. And they got a little uncomfortable with the idea of saying that a Catholic priest was molesting you guys, even though in the episode he isn't molesting any of the kids, and even though it was true, because they were the Catholic priests were and still are.
Then we have the dentist system. I don't need to break down the dentist system. If you don't know about the dentist system, you don't know the show. And if you don't know the show, watch the show. But there was one thing this gang couldn't get away with when filming this show, and it was blackface. They did a lot of blackface, gang. They did a lot of it. In 2020, 5 episodes with racist makeup were removed from Hulu. Which, I mean, come on, guys. 5 episodes? You get 1, maybe. I get that it's a satirical, edgy show, but blackface in the 21st century, just, I mean, come on. I mean, this is not one of those it was a different time scenarios. But when the first episode came out, blackface was not chill. Blackface is a practice that we've known is bad for a long time. We knew it was bad halfway through the 20th century when we stopped producing minstrel shows. In fact, it's so bad that we willfully neglect the fact that minstrel shows were a dominant form of American entertainment for 75 years. And the fact that there's not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 different episodes where they're doing race face, it's just crazy to me. So why were these episodes quietly banned without any big uproar? Well, again, it's because Sonny gets away with a lot because it's so fucking funny. And once again, it's never intentionally ill-willed. Like, the whole thing is they do blackface because they're fucking morons. Like, that's what you're laughing at them, not the characters they're trying to portray, but blackface is blackface, gang. I mean, Jesus Christ. But there was also a very weird period where blackface did kind of make a comeback. Remember Tropic Thunder? Remember 30 Rock? There was 3 episodes where they did blackface in 30 Rock. Scrubs used blackface 3 times throughout its whole run. And even The Office and Community pushed it with black makeup to the point where they had to remove content from streamers. And yeah, the majority of these were making fun of people who would do blackface, but it's up in the air. I don't know. Once again, I cannot comment on this, but like, I don't know. That people don't seem to fucking like it, you know what I'm saying? We've actually had tons of famous people don blackface well past the point of it being okay. You know what? There's actually a lot of people who've done blackface. And you know what that means? It's time to do my first blackface speed run ever. I'm gonna name every single black person. I'm gonna name every single celebrity that you thought was cool, but they actually did blackface. Here we go. Fred Armisen, Dan Aykroyd, Jack Black, Zach Braff, Danson, Neil Diamond, Robert Downey Jr., Jimmy Fallon, Judy Garland, Bill Hader, John Hanley, Joni Mitchell, Lauren Olivia, oh my God, Lauren Oliver, Frank Sinatra, Grace Slick, Howard Stern, Shirley Temple, Tracy Ullman, Gene Wilder, and even motherfucking Betty White. Why are so many people doing blackface? All right, well, I was gonna ask how Sonny managed to survive so many cases of blackface, but I think I have my answer. It seems like everyone in Hollywood has done blackface. I didn't understand that at all. But I guess if Justin Trudeau's doing it, why not a bunch of drunks in Philly? Okay, so fine. The gang didn't always get it right. Actually, they never got it right, but that is the whole point. At the end of the day, the show isn't criticizing Charlie D, Dennis, Mac, and Frank. They're critiquing the culture that allows these individuals to exist. And that's the satirical edge that's allowed Sonny to thrive for 20 years. That and the fact that it's incredibly funny. Let me know your favorite episode of Sonny down below. Mine personally is the one where Frank almost drowns. There's an episode where Frank almost drowned behind the scenes and they were like on a cruise ship. That's one of my favorite episodes. New videos every Saturday and Wednesday. Like, comment, and subscribe. And shout out the Extra Tuglets for paying me $4 a month and they get a new video every week, and it's usually pretty raunchy. You get Satan talking to you, or you guys write me questions and I answer them, and you get your name at the end of the video.
Okay, why do you support Donald Trump?
All right. I've supported Trump since I was like a kid, like 2016. When he was first running for office, my parents were like supporting him even before he like was one of the main candidates, like, when he just started out. Because I think he's a great leader. I think in 2016, like through to 2020, he really had our economy booming. We definitely had a lower unemployment rates than we did in Biden's term. I know that's for sure, right, Parker?
So if you want to look at unemployment rates have gone up since Trump got in office. If you want to look at the unemployment rate in general, the highest rate of unemployment under the under the Trump administration, was at 14.8% under his first term. Now that's because of COVID. but like I don't think that like you would say his even his lowest point at 3.5% was lower than the points under Biden at 3.4% in 2 separate months.
Mm. Yeah. Okay. Well, I thought it was a bit more of a difference than that, but yeah, I think also just with the general like political state, we saw, you know, like how when Biden came in like 2020, like I think it was just also socially getting like way too progressive. I think we were moving way too fast in some extreme directions, like
Could you be
with all the
specific?
like like how like I think like 2021 to like 2020, like there were just so many new ideas coming in about like they were talking about like gender, like there was so much, you know, like gender ideology that was like never a thing before, and they're trying to like involve kids and all that, you know, and like I just and especially on TikTok when there's so many impressionable young people, it's all these ideas that they were like, you know, coming up with at that time.
Like
Like
us on
I don't
TikTok,
think
that's me. That's like I'm here on TikTok. How am I too progressive?
well, I wouldn't say you really. You're not like some of the radical people that you see on here, but
Okay,
there's
so
some
then
pretty
how is that representative of the Democratic Party? If I'm
just
even to the left of the Democratic Party, how is that representative of the Democratic Party as a whole?
well, I know there was I saw this video, I was watching it, like Biden, he appointed this transgender like military lady, like like it was like he appointed her like the first female to like accomplish this thing, and like it's not even it wasn't even a biological female,
I don't even
and
think
like
you know who you're referencing, and I don't even think you know what you're getting mad about in terms of this, so I just don't understand what your point is. Why do you
it was
care?
like he gave the transgender woman first female, and like it wasn't even a biological female, so it's just
I
like
think it would be first woman in that context, and again,
no, it was like specifically female. That was the point of the video, because like
I mean, would you like
um
to tell me what was it for?
I need to pull it up. You might need to give me a minute or two, but
So you don't even
I'm
know,
sure I can
and
find
what, and even if that was true, would you even care?
it. Yeah, yeah. I mean, of course, like you know, we need
Why?
to
Why does that
keep
matter
these
to you?
awards.
Are you saying you care because you care about women?
Yeah, yeah. It's unfair to females. It's like that's just
Okay, it's
unfair if we're
unfair.
giving
So you're
awards
saying it's
to
unfair to
females.
women. Do you not think it's unfair to women to vote for a guy that was a predator and is a predator towards women? That actively demeans women, that restricts women's rights? You don't think
You see,
those things are
part of
relevant?
that thing,
And do you think that most women like Trump? Genuinely. Like, do you think that most women want him to be president? Do you think most women voted for him?
conservative women, yeah,
Yeah, if you hyper
traditional.
specifically look at conservative women, yes. We're talking about women as a whole. Women as a whole
Uh,
disproportionately voted against Trump. They don't like Trump.
yeah, I'd
His
say
approval rating
I
amongst
just
women is pretty low.
I'd say women as a whole are more progressive, like you know, like
Based. W women.
um, yeah, I feel like me and you have a very like different definition of what based means, because
Well,
I
that
thought
I think
based
that's
is like
very based. I think it's very based that women are progressive and women are more left leaning. That's very based. W women.
all right, based, I guess. But yeah, what I think like you and Dean kind of do, like you bring up you know, like how Trump has like he kind of has a past of like these criminal things, and obviously that's terrible. He's like a bad guy, but it's like I don't get like why you're bringing that up when we're talking about him as a president. You know, like you guys always go to that. I feel like when you're losing a debate, you go to like, oh well, Trump is a predator, you know, but like you don't actually, like talk about how he is as a president. You know what I mean?
I'd love to hear what you think I was losing the debate on, one. And also, I think it's important to bring up because it's a disqualifier for supporting these positions. I mean, I'm just trying to see if you have basic morality, right? Like, do you think that
Yeah.
being a rapist is a disqualifier for being president? Do you think rapists should be able to run for president? Real question. Basic question.
No,
No? But yeah, you voted for
registered
one.
registered shouldn't be allowed to run for
Only if they're
president. No.
registered, but if they're a violent, were held civilly liable, you'd still vote for him? You voted for a
Um,
violent.
well, I don't think like all of those allegations are true. Like
Well,
I
no, he
feel like
was
a
held
lot of these.
liable for. He's a violent.
Yeah, I think like Jocelyn. What was that lady's name? The lady that like Eugene Carroll. Is that it?
E. Jean Carroll.
Yeah, Eugene Carroll. like she came out when he started running for president, and I think that's kind of weird because it's like it
Nope,
was like
this was in 2019 when she said that, and then also Donald Trump literally defamed her, and then in order to prove defamation, she had to prove that's what she did.
Mm. Well, yeah. All right. Well, why did she come out in 2019 then? Why, if it happened in the 90s?
Because it takes decades to come out for many victims because people don't believe them, especially when people are in positions of power. Also, there were people in her life that she didn't want to have to go through that and hear these particular stories, and specifically because she thought that would be traumatizing and a lot to go through.
Yeah, no, that's valid. That's valid.
And,
Well,
and for many victims, it
yeah,
takes decades to come out, right? Especially with the society that we live in.
yeah.
And like also, again,
All
my
right.
point would
Well,
then be is that if Donald Trump never did this, you'd have to believe every single one of the 26 plus people that have accused him of misconduct, every single one of them are lying. And I think it's significantly more likely that Donald Trump, the pathological liar who cheated on every single one of his wives, is lying comparative to the 26 plus people that every single one of them are lying. Because you have to think, just even one person telling the truth, when it's actually even less likely just for one person for them to lie about comparative to it actually happening.
yeah. Well, even if we say that he's evil, even if we say that Trump is evil, that doesn't mean that he's a bad leader necessarily. Like even if I can see that he's evil, like that doesn't mean that he's a bad leader. You know, he can still be a good leader.
Okay, so then, like, what does he do that makes him a quote-unquote good leader, even though, again, he's held civilly liable and has done such horrible and horrific things? Is it going to be something like, oh, immigrants, right? Even though Donald Trump's violating the law more than any immigrant, you're saying should be deported from the country?
Honestly, I think Trump is kind of letting us down when it comes to kicking out immigrants. Like, I don't think
You
he's
see what I
doing
mean?
as well of a job as
You
he
want to
is.
hold
Like,
immigrants
honestly,
accountable for coming to the country undocumented, but you don't want to hold the president accountable for his felonies, for his crimes against humanity, literally.
yeah. Yeah, no, like I feel like with the Trump team, like they just kind of record the few like immigrant catches that they do with ICE, and then they upload that on TikTok and make like an edit of it, so like they still get support. But like really, I don't think they're doing a good enough job. You know, I've seen a lot like they're really not taking out that many people, so you know, it's not very
And
impressive.
70% of
But
people that are detained by ICE have no prior criminal record. Only 5% have a violent criminal record. So why don't they focus on those that have committed violent crimes and bad crimes rather than those that are not a threat to the safety and security of our communities?
mm, yeah, you're right. Well, but like even so, the two candidates, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, like if one of them were to win last year at the election, like it had to be Trump. Like if it was gonna be Kamala Harris, we just would have gone in the direction like coming off Biden. It would have been too woke, too fast. I'm kind
Can
of
you
glad
define
because
woke?
you know what? Parker? Yeah, woke is like really like extreme left, like progressive.
Extreme left progressive. Um,
Yeah, pretty.
okay, so what was extreme left progressive that Kamala Harris was advocating for?
Well, she's the same as Biden, right? She was Biden's vice president. So.
So be specific. Like, what extreme left progressive views did Kamala Harris have?
Like the yeah, like you know, just like being super like abortion up to 9 months, which is messed up. But, you
Okay, so
know,
I just want to let you know, after viability, it's left up to the states, regardless of Democrats or Republicans being in office, because Donald Trump overturning Roe versus Wade is leaving it up to states at all points during the pregnancy, whereas under Roe versus Wade, it was protecting federal access to abortion prior to viability, and then after viability, it's left up to the states. So the late-term abortion argument is a f***ing stupid argument, genuinely. No offense.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, okay, well, okay. Well, I mean, if
It's not you that
that's
perpetuated it, it's Trump that did. That's why I was trying to say that.
yeah. Well, also, I mean, like we're coming up. It's Christmas Eve, right? It's Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
You're celebrating Christmas, man. Are you and your girlfriend? You're getting ready for Christmas. You planning something or?
Yep,
You know,
I'm going to
is
spend it with my
something
family.
Sick. That's great to hear, man. So like, you celebrate Christmas, you know. So
Mhm.
that's an American tradition. And you know, with like Kamala Harris and Biden, they like it's too like you're meant to go out and say Merry Xmas. You're meant to say Merry Xmas, and I don't
No,
like. I don't
I
like
mean,
that.
they were just saying, you say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Yeah, the Happy Holidays. I don't like Happy Holidays. I just want to say Merry
Dude, say
Christmas,
both
'cause you know
then.
we're
Say both
celebrating
then. Say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
But you're not even allowed to say Merry Christmas most of the time, right? Because
Yeah,
that's
you are.
like,
I've been saying Merry Christmas all day. People have been saying Merry Christmas to me. We're not
Yeah,
on
well-
here saying, stop saying Merry Christmas. If you say Merry Christmas, you are doing bad. Come on.
well, what is the first half of Christmas? Christ, Mass.
Well, I'm not
Christ.
Christian. I celebrate Christmas and I'm not Christian.
Yeah, you don't have to be a Christian to celebrate Christmas. But,
Exactly.
It's a Christian holiday. You know, it's celebrating the birth of Jesus.
Sure,
You know,
yeah, I mean,
church, you know.
Sure, yeah, but it's not necessarily even on the birth of Jesus. And there's even stuff that are associated with pagans as well.
Some people debate that. That it was actually, some people believe that it actually is the birthday of Jesus, but I don't think we can back it up. I don't know. if there's
Yeah, I don't think
arguments for
most people actually believe that.
that. Yeah.
Especially scholars don't believe that.
True, yeah, I think it's a denomination. Like, yeah, what I also don't get growing up as a Christian is like, I still like don't fully understand like all the denominations, even as a Christian myself. Like, that's just there's so much, you know, and there's so much division, and I'm like if we all follow Christ, I feel like that's enough. You know, I don't know why there's so much division and like all these slight changes.
Here's my
I
point.
feel like,
I think Trump causes more division when he calls for some Democrats because they said to not follow unlawful orders, right? Like Democratic
Yeah.
veterans that were in Congress that literally just said that about people who are service members. That causes political hate, violence, and division. Donald Trump does that all the time.
well, the only case of political violence we've seen recently was the of Charlie Kirk.
No, what about the Hormans? The Hormans are.
So, is that that was the
Melissa Horman?
Horman? Is that?
They were a Democratic
I've never-
lawmaker?
Is that are those the people that got their kid? Or?
No, you're thinking Rob Reiner. Rob Reiner, Trump just made fun of his death and literally said that he died because of Trump derangement syndrome when it had nothing to do with that.
That's messed up.
Yeah, it is. And you see that's the light that he makes of violence in this country. And what does that lead to? It leads to more division. It leads to more hate. It does not lead to unity. It does not lead to people coming together. If anything, if you were to compare Biden versus Trump on whether or not this country is able to unify and come together, you will see every single time Trump does what's going to lead to more division, and Biden did what was going to lead to more unification in practically every single scenario.
I really didn't feel like that. Like,
Other than running, I think him running again was like definitely not. But like I think when he was in office, when he was being president, right, he at least upheld what the president should uphold, and Trump doesn't even do that. Trump doesn't even do the bare minimum.
Yeah, like Biden got in when I was like 15, and even at that time, I wasn't like super into politics. I mean, I still was, but like, you know, I was disappointed that Trump lost, and my parents, you know, they're saying it was rigged. But like, yeah, I feel like over the last 4 years, especially in like the peak of it was like 2020 to 2021. Like, it felt like a sin. It felt like I was like evil just for being white and a male. You know, like it's just.
I
it
didn't
was just,
feel
like,
that
so
way.
much,
I didn't feel that way in 2020
You
and
don't feel that way?
2021. I did not feel like I was
Well-
evil for being a white man. What are you talking about, dude?
like you were like the who they took it out on. That's the only group.
Dude, what are you
Like,
talking
alright,
about? What type of chronically online take is this, dude?
All right, so hear me out. So I feel like when it comes to like what do you think of
Dude,
censorship?
I'm chronically
Honestly,
online, and this is a chronically online take, bro. Like, genuinely, you really felt
know
that
you
way?
are. I was-
You really
what?
felt... Okay.
Yeah, I did. Right, you know, right before this, I searched up Parker to see if you were live, and then I didn't see you were live. And then I take one scroll and I see you're live, bro. And I'm like, damn, I thought he was actually celebrating Christmas, but you're not. You're still live.
Well, I am. No, I only went live 2 hours earlier. I took time and spent it on Dean's Live, and then I'm doing it now. And then this is Christmas Eve, by the way. Right? So I
Yeah.
am doing stuff for Christmas Eve later.
True.
But I am
Alright, well-
working on Christmas. I will be working tomorrow.
Well, you know, your name is Parker. Get a job. I don't know if this is really working, but you know, you're doing debates. You're doing debates. This is fun.
Do you think this is a job?
Well, you definitely make a lot of money, right? I always see you reading out. Thanks for the $100.
Do you think it's a job?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
well, I mean, yeah. What is considered as a job? I mean, you're making money. You're on here with a consistent schedule. So I guess, yeah, I guess this is a job. I guess anything can be a job, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, I guess,
Um.
is there anything Trump could do that would get you to stop supporting him?
Yeah. If Trump came out and he was like, "We can't say Merry Christmas," or if
Come
Trump was
on.
talking about or if Trump was
Calling
talking
for the of some Democrats? Yay! Saying you can't say Merry Christmas? Boo!
Well, I actually saw that live. I saw the Untruth Social. I saw he posted that live, and I was like reading it, and I was like, "Damn, that is," because I didn't even know if that was like a crazy thing, but yeah, apparently that's a big thing. You guys are talking about it, but
Yeah,
yeah,
he's
I
since
think that
deleted
is-
it, by the way. He's since deleted the repost of him calling for them to be HANG'd.
Yeah, it's a little bit too late. But like, what I'm trying to, yeah, I keep trying to ask you, but like, you keep kind of moving on. What do you think of like censorship as a whole, like censorship in comedy, and like things like that, like because that's my main issue with censorship.
I think that Trump has caused censorship to be worse off. Because he specifically
Really?
has gone after doing it himself. I mean, he canceled Marjorie, he calls her Trader Green, because she literally wanted the Epstein files to be released. Okay? He specifically has passed an executive order to put people in prison for a year for burning the American flag. His administration has detained people for saying Free Palestine without due process for over 100 days. And he's talked about sending people back to back who specifically are on visas for college, right? Simply because of their particular views on Palestine. Like, genuinely, like, that is a threat to free speech. If anyone was a threat to a free speech, it was them.
You know what? I actually support the criminalization of burning the American flag, because if you're gonna burn our flag in our country, like, get the hell out of here. You know what I mean?
Think about it this way. Think about it this way. The Constitution protects your freedom to do that. Because it's a fundamental right in terms of symbolic speech of calling out your government. It is symbolic speech. If you are against burning the American flag being legal, that is anti-American.
I think Democrats.
It genuinely is anti-American because you're violating the Constitution and a core fundamental value of America. A core fundamental value is freedom of speech, correct? Especially being able to call out your government. Not just any speech, being able to call out your government for doing things that you deem as bad. That is one of the most fundamental and important rights that we have. And again, you might say you disagree with it because you think that those rights are so fundamental and important that they've been emboldened and upheld, but then that should mean that you should still legally be able to do it. You can disagree with it, but it should be legal.
I was actually gonna say, like, yeah, of course, like, my point off that is, yeah, I do support free speech. So what do you think of like free speech in general comedy and like comedians not being able to say certain jokes because it's like offending too many people? Like, what do you think?
Well, I
of
think
that?
that's also free speech. I think that I think it's totally people's freedom to be offended by things. And again, you doing a joke can definitely offend people, and I don't think that certain jokes are jokes or things to be made fun of. There are plenty of things that have been deemed as jokes, historically speaking, that have been really bigoted and up. And I think that you can acknowledge that it gets to a point, right? You don't think
Well, that's the nature
you don't
of
think all
comedy, right?
comedy should be allowed, right? Like there are certain things you don't make fun of.
No, I think everything should be like that's the
Okay.
nature of
Would you
comedy.
be
Like,
okay
it's
with someone
bigoted
making
and
fun of
fucked
Charlie
up.
Kirk's
Yeah.
death?
Me personally, I wouldn't like that at all. But
Okay.
I think you should be able to joke.
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that because,
Legally,
I
you
mean,
should be able to do
yeah,
it, but you
that's
don't
right.
like it, right? You think you shouldn't do that. You
Yeah.
think it's like offensive, right?
Do
So-
it. Do it. No, anything. It's okay. It might be messed up.
Do you think that's a little
but
bit
that is
insensitive? You think it's messed up, a little bit insensitive? Maybe that's exactly what we're saying. Are you a snowflake for saying that?
No,
No, you're not a
like that.
snowflake for saying that, okay?
No, it's okay. You can do that. You can make jokes about that. It's okay because it is freedom of
Wait.
speech, and also then you can't
Wait, but
complain about,
the Republican Party was quite literally saying people should lose their jobs for that.
Well,
What
I see
happened to
where they're
that?
coming from. I see where they're coming from because that could mean that someone's very violent. If they're right after someone's death in the media, they hear that and they're happy like that. That is
Isn't
like
that
the
what Trump
nature of
did?
a violent
He just did with Rob Reiner?
True. That's a good counter argument. So yeah, that's a good point. But like even some of the people, like, you know, Trump kind of made a joke. He's Trump derangement syndrome. But like some of these people on the left, they're like dressing up. They put the freedom shirt on. I see this on like Halloween, and they got like blood on the shirt to like have him getting, and that's like
Yeah.
Moderating. He's radicalizing.
Okay.
Oh. What's up?
One person has come so far.
Good. That's all we need.
But oh, there's another one. That's huge. Whew. Get your Red Bull, get your drink. You know, let's give it a few minutes. You know, I'm sure they're on the way. See, we own Venezuela now.
Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah.
What do you want me to say?
Alrighty, I guess Trump can just fucking do anything. I'm looking forward to seeing him rape kids on TV and finding Republicans defending it somehow.
Yeah, and they would too.
Regardless of what you guys think about the invasion or the kidnapping or whatever, which you should think is horrible, don't argue with fucking Venezuelans about this, because Venezuelans fucking hate Maduro. They're happy to see him go, and none of them are going to be criticizing Trump for these actions, and I wouldn't expect them to. So don't be fucking retarded about it.
I mean, just because Venezuelans are out there celebrating doesn't mean it was good that the
No,
United
yeah,
States
the
just
United
did
States,
this.
yeah, but it's like but it's like nobody likes Saddam Hussein either. Okay, like, he was also a bad guy. Yeah, it's just fucking retarded. Like, because I think I saw a few people on the subreddit. Like, if you're sitting here thinking like, well, Venezuelans should understand this is bad, right? No, they hate this motherfucker for good reason too.
Yeah, this will kind of bring us into our Asmon debates, but Asmon was on stream. I was watching stream for the first time today since his WoW streams, and holy shit, he is on there full sweeping and just saying like, yeah, this is good. Look at how the Venezuelans are celebrating. This is awesome.
Yeah, remember the videos of the Iraqis pulling down the statue of Saddam Hussein and everything?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. All right, you want me to start dragging?
Yeah, go for it. Not all are celebrating.
Right.
I have fam out there. A lot are scared. A lot know that America will control them. All Venezuelans are not happy. Yeah, I don't believe you. Nope, I don't believe you at all. I'm pretty sure 90% of Venezuelans are ecstatic to see Maduro fucking tortured, murdered, and thrown off the face of the earth. Yeah, you might have some family that feels one way about it, but I'm pretty sure the vast majority of Venezuelans are super happy to see him go. This is one of like it was one of the wealthiest countries in South America, and it's been fucking destroyed over the past decade. Like, this country has been obliterated. The elections are bullshit. Like, I don't think anybody in fucking Venezuela, there may be a select few, but I think most people in Venezuela fucking hate this motherfucker.
All right, here's our first guy. Honestly, Reckless, you're up. You're muted.
King.
Everybody does that. I always say I'm not going to be the guy who does that.
And you did it.
You
You
know?
were the guy who did
Well,
it.
I am the guy who did it. You know, believe me. How's it going?
It's going great.
Great. You want to talk about Asmongold?
Yeah, go for it.
I think he's more or less harmless. If anything, I think there's even a chance he's doing us a favor. I think that leading up to 2024, the country has shifted more right. You know, this is just a fact. Things that are totally fine to say today were like unheard of 3 years ago. So somebody was going to be the big right-wing streamer, and I would much rather it be Asmongold than Fuentes, or, I mean, I'm trying to think of who else it even could have been, but it could be somebody far more extreme. Asmongold doesn't have an ideology in my mind. He has feelings and reactions. He has extreme reactions to things based entirely on whatever he knows at the moment and whatever he's feeling at the moment.
I don't understand how any of this makes it good.
It doesn't make it good.
So what
It
is
makes
that?
it better.
You were saying better, but you mean it's like least bad or not as bad as it
Yeah.
could have been? How is that a defense of
Yeah.
anything?
It's a pragmatic defense.
So it's
I
not a
mean, if you're
defense.
looking for somebody to stand here and say, "Oh my God, I love Asmongold. The man's a genius." What are you talking about, Destiny? Like, I can't do that, because that's insane. Like, who? But I can see him serving a function, and I can see
Wait, what is the
him
function?
being the function is to be somewhat more moderating of MAGA. Everything he says. Even
How
the
is he? But
crazy
in
shit
terms
he
of
says-
moderating,
Can I swear? Is that fine?
Wait, well, no, hold on. Did you talk
Can I
about?
swear? Is that fine?
Oh,
It's a
oh,
big
sorry.
part of my vocabulary.
Yeah, that's fine. Wait, but I'm just saying that, like,
Okay, yeah.
wait. It seems like the defense here is that he's more moderate than like the worst person in the universe would have been, but like he's carrying the line on all the MAGA stuff basically verbatim. I mean, like, could it be worse? Sure, but like, like it's really, 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 really bad. I don't understand.
It
It
is
could be
bad.
worse defense.
Yeah, no, it is. I'm here. It's bad. Shit's bad. So in a world this bad, we could have ended up with someone way worse than like imagine Fuentes had Asmongold's viewership.
That would be marginally
You know?
worse. But like if I could
You
rate
think
it on a
I
scale,
think it would be much worse. Can I explain why?
Asmongold is ultra xenophobic, has no commitment to fact, plays into, in my opinion, one of the worst things right now that exists in our whole landscape, which is inability to discern truth from fiction. Doesn't understand that
Yes.
getting news from a feed that's being aggregated for you based on your reading preferences is the worst way ever to gather news. Is disseminating this information to 50, 70,000 people. I'm pretty sure he's the most popular political, I think even YouTuber on the internet right now. But you're like, well, he's not a full Nazi.
It's not just that he's not a full Nazi. It's that he's somewhat moderating.
He's not moderating. Well, how is he moderating?
Also, he has no further ambition other than doling out right wing slop.
Yeah, but in
That's
some ways
what
that
he
makes it
does.
even worse. But when you say moderating, what do you mean by what is he moderating? He's radicalizing.
Okay, when it comes to the xenophobia, nothing. He's as far in the right wing camp as it gets in that area. But he's far more moderate when it comes to LGBT issues. Like I actually saw him once and it's your fault I even know who this guy is because I watch your streams and your videos, and then always an Asmongold video pops up after you. It's YouTube really thinks you and Asmongold have a lot in common.
Well, it could also be that Asmongold is the most popular political streamer and possibly YouTuber on the internet right now, right?
It is.
Okay. So, but I guess I don't understand when you say he's moderating. What is he moderating?
Okay, once I saw his entire chat freak out in a video because they were talking about if one of your children was trans, and everyone was like, oh, cut them off, like get them what is it called, conversion therapy, and he was like, no, I'd use their preferred pronouns. He's like, I'd make sure like that it was real, and I'd really get them all the help they need. But like,
I don't know. I don't know when he said this last, but aren't his most recent statements on this that like every single trans person necessarily has like mental illness or their parents like fucked
this
them
was
up?
like November.
Okay, well, the last statements I heard on this were him saying that every single trans person is basically mentally ill, and not in like they need whatever kind of treatment, but like they're fucked in the brain, and their parents are all fucked in the brain. This is the last statements that I heard on this. Maybe we're worlds apart in terms of what we heard, but
yeah, we might be. And also, he's worlds apart in one. He's a lot like Trump actually himself in this way. Like he seems to be a fan of whatever was thrown in front of him in the first 5 minutes.
Okay, here, let's back up for a second. Do you agree with what do you think are like? Then actually, in my opinion, the worst problem right now that we have as a country, as a planet, is we cannot tell like what is real and what is false. So
Yes.
two